Hey devs, so in our last tutorial we created an OpenAI key and Pinecone key along with the region and environment. So in this video we will actually use these credentials to set up all of the APIs that ShipGPT AI repo provides us, and in today's video we will train the model and ask questions with the help of ShipGPT AI. So let's get started with today's tutorial. So in our browser, let's open ShipGPT website, which is shipgpt.ai, and if we can see, there are three packages. One is ShipSAS, which we already discussed in our first two tutorials. Then we have ShipGPT AI repo, and in this series we will be discussing this repository and all its functionalities. And what you are getting in this repo is everything in boilerplate of Next.js boilerplate. So everything which is included in Next.js boilerplate, which is email authentication, social sign-in, password reset, Stripe checkout, subscription management, blogs, roadmap, the basic modules that you need to create any SaaS app. And in addition to that, you will get all the AI logics with code base, with Postman collection, and a front end to test all of these use cases in ShipGPT AI repo. So if we can see the demo, which is this. So this is the demo of ShipGPT AI, which is shipai.shipgpt.ai, and in this repository you will get this front end, this complete front end. Using this front end you can create an app like ChatDocs, ChatWebby, Recaster, ShipGPT itself. And if we can sign in, so if we can continue with Google, you will see that you will be given with this admin panel as well, where you can test all the use cases like chat with files, chat with folders, YouTube, website, videos, audios. So all of these use cases along with the front end modules are already be a part of this repository, and with some basic other functionalities like pricing, logout. So you can build your own application. And if we go back to the website and if we purchase it, so go down there or go to the pricing option, and in pricing option if we select the plan, and when we purchase it you will be asked with the GitHub username, and you can write your username after purchasing it from here, and you will get an invite with a repo link. And let's go directly to that repo link and clone that repo on our local system and set up the ShipGPT AI repository. Let's switch to the repo. So this is the repo that you will be given after purchasing ShipGPT AI repository, and this repository actually contains two folders, client and server. Client is your front end, which we just saw, and the second one is server, our backend server. So the basic functionalities, all the AI logics are written in the server folder, and the Postman collection to test all of these use cases. We'll see in this series how we can test all the use cases provided in the ShipGPT AI using this Postman collection. And we'll also discuss the client side, like how we can test the backend by calling these use cases from the front end using this client folder. So we'll run all of these two folders, and but the first one is the server. So we'll run this server first, and then we'll after the completing this series we'll create a separate video where we can where we will test the use cases using this client folder. So let's start by cloning the repository. For production purpose you can clone it by SSH, but for development purpose you can clone it either by SSH or HTTPS. I'm going to use HTTPS and open my local directory, go to the VS Code. So let's again copy the link and clone the repository here using git clone this repository. It is going to take a minute, and it will clone the repository like this. So there will be like two folders, and if we can see the ShipGPT AI, so we are inside this directory where we can see that there are two folders client and server. Client again is our front end, server is our back end with all the AI logics, and then we have ShipGPT database, like it's a MySQL database for you to import it into your local servers and later on production servers. And we have a Postman collection to test all the APIs, like if the APIs are working or not. So first let's run the front end and then we will move forward with the back end. And in this series we will be working on the back end server only, and in the last video we'll actually create another video to test the backend, to attach the backend with the front end. So we will make all the calls from the front end with a UI where we can test all the files, YouTube, chat with websites, audio and videos from the front end modules. And also our front end client is actually just like the SaaS repo. So it includes everything, like the basic, starting from the basic pages, required pages like blogs, roadmap, and the sign in pages, then the store, and everything that you need to create a SaaS app. This repository, the front end side, includes this, along with all the payments option. So there is this authentication, then payments, then APIs, then blog, privacy policy, roadmap, so everything that you need to create a SaaS app. And in our SaaS tutorials you can follow those tutorials to implement all of these logics, all of the required keys, the webhook keys, from the payment point of view, the Stripe keys. So you can include or you can populate all of those keys using those two tutorials, and I'll create a link to the description of this tutorial for those tutorials, so you can follow those tutorials to build a SaaS front end. And for the backend part, you can actually use this server. Expand it, we will see we have all the necessary files. It is written in Node.js, so it's JavaScript, and we are using Express to create APIs. And the starting point would be index.js. This index.js is the starting point. You'll see that we are using port 3005, but first we will have to check the .env. So if we start the server with npm run start right away, it won't work. First we have to check the envs, if the envs are filled or not. If the envs are provided, then we'll write npm run start. Actually you don't have to go deeper inside the code base. It is not necessary to check the code base and understand the logics behind it. We are providing you all the APIs that you want to consume to develop any use case that we are providing in ShipGPT AI repo. So for this purpose only, in the .env file, we have these credentials. So first of all, these AWS credentials, these are optional. If you want to save your files, your data sources somewhere in AWS, you can give these credentials as well. I'll make a separate video for this purpose where we are saving all the data sources in AWS. But this API key for Pinecone, this environment key for Pinecone, and index name Pinecone, remember we have all of these credentials with us saved already. And then the most important thing is OpenAI key. There is like Gemini and Anthropic Cloud 2 support already included in this repo. I'll make a separate video for that as well, where we will need to insert the Anthropic or Gemini keys to access them. But in this tutorial we are going to use OpenAI key, just OpenAI key. So let's fill these envs. For that, let's go to our browser. So this is the OpenAI key. Let's first fill it, and these are the Pinecone credentials that we want to fill to make it work. the region. So what you can do is you can only copy this US central one for region, and for index. Okay, oh, I think I've made a mistake. What we need is actually not region. We will need environment and we'll need the index name. So let's get back to our pinecone and let's copy the environment and index name. For that, let me open those credentials. Here it is. Our index name is testing index. It is straightforward, and our environment GCP starter. Let's copy it. Let's refresh this page. I have added index name from the back side of this document and now it is there. So again, for a recap, what you will need from Pinecone is your API key, your environment and your index. So let's copy this environment into our code base, which will go here, and our index name, which is testing index in our case, in here. So we have all the envs that we require to run this server. So let's start the server with npm run start, which is the default command to run the npm. Oh, so we didn't install any npm module. Let's start the npm modules, install all the npm modules with legacy-peer-deps. So we are actually forcing the node modules to be installed in case if any of the modules are deprecated or whatever the reason is there. It's better to write npm I -- legacy-peer-deps. So all the modules are installed, and let's run the command again and see if it works. So yes, we will allow it, and Express is running on 3005. So remember, we have starting point index.js and we are running our server on 3005. And now this next step would be to access this server, to access all the APIs, and to let you guys understand like what are the APIs that ShipGPT AI provides, and let's consume all the APIs. Let's hit all the APIs one by one, all the use cases one by one, and you can write down your use cases. You can develop one of your AI app based on these use cases. So to get started with the consumption of APIs, this is the collection that I'm talking about, like ShipGPT Postman collection. So Postman, if you guys don't know, Postman is a software which is used to test APIs, which is used to consume APIs or hit APIs. It's a very user-friendly software, and let's import this collection in Postman and try to hit all the APIs that we have in ShipGPT. I don't have a Postman installed in my system, so let's install it, and you can see all the steps to install the Postman for desktop. Download Postman, it's totally free. Windows 64-bit, and here the download is started. Download is completed. Let's open and install the Postman in our system. Let's log in because I already have an account. If you don't have an account, you have to create one to use Postman. Now let's open Postman in our desktop, and we will see all the APIs in all the collections actually. So the collection is a set of APIs. So I have multiple projects and I have set up multiple collections for each project. So these are some of my collections, and you can say multiple projects, and each collection contains multiple APIs. So let's import our collection from our ShipGPT folder. Let's open the file. ShipGPT, and here it is, our collection inside the ShipGPT folder. And a collection ShipGPT Postman collection already exists, so I already have a collection. So let's import as copy. So this is the new collection that we have imported. It says ShipGPT Postman collection copy. Let's rename it with tutorial ShipGPT. And if we see inside this collection, we have multiple APIs. I've named all the APIs. So the first one is the most important one. It's called vectorization. Vectorization, you can say it is to train the model. So we have been using OpenAI, and in this API what we will do is we will actually hit the OpenAI to train the model with our data sources. So we will actually utilize this API to train the model with our data source. And which data source? So in this case, the data source would be our documents, the PDF, the docx file, the .csv file, EPUB file. So all of these files will be vectorized with this API. Then we will have a chat API where we can so at first this vectorization API will give us a unique ID, and then we will give this ID in our chat API, which will be used to ask questions or to chat with our data sources. Then other data sources like YouTube file, web page, text file, folder, video, audio, image, and you can delete any file. So all of these APIs will be used to train the models, and this API, chat API, will be used to chat with all of these data sources. So this is how we will use this Postman collection to access all the APIs of ShipGPT. And remember, ShipGPT server is already running on port 3005. Actually this video is already very long, so let's divide this video into two steps, part 1 and part 2, and let's continue with the part 2 in the next video, where we will be utilizing all of these APIs and hit the ShipGPT repo and see the results that it is providing us, and all the options that we have in ShipGPT AI repo, like we can change the model, we can utilize OpenAI 3.5 Turbo, GPT-4 Turbo, GPT-4 Vision, and how we are utilizing the YouTube links to be vectorized in our data sources. So all of these use cases will be discussed in the next video. Until then, bye bye.